Hello, everyone. It is a new season of Tailgate Talk. We're your hosts. It's David, it's Joseph, and it's Nick. Boys, side of the people,
Howdy.
Howdy.
and we're back. We're almost there. We are in week 0. We are one more weekend away before we finally have college football. I've been checking because I was like, it feels like we're right there. ESPN showing the 22nd as the week 1 date. And I can't find a damn game on the 22nd. I think the earliest I can find is the 27th. So we're almost there. We're 11 days out at time of recording. It's almost here, boys. We're on the precipice. How do you feel? Who's ready?
Well, I thought I was ready, but my countdown on social media is off. So I don't know what I'm counting down to, but we're rocking with it. Yeah, that's humbling. Okay, cool, great start.
You're
Yeah,
probably counting down to the
week
29th,
zero
aren't
is
you?
week zero is a pretty good slate too that we have to look forward to. Where like last year, I felt like it was like one game we were all looking forward to, and the rest we could not care less about for the most part, or at least like that's how the general public I think felt. But I think this week zero is a pretty spicy slate we have coming, so I'm excited for that.
And by spicy, Joe means the likes of Stanford and Hawaii. You've got Florida State, New Mexico State, Rutgers and UMass. I'm very excited about that game. Is that
Well,
what you're
that's
talking about there,
that
Joe?
that 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 one could be like the big noon one. I'm not gonna watch that one.
That's the 6 p.m. That's prime time on the Big Ten Network.
Wow, wow.
Tell me, Joe, what are you looking for? I think I know which game you're actually talking about, but I'll let
Which,
you.
which which one's the major game in Iowa or in Ireland?
Oh, geez, I don't know, but I thought you were gonna go Colorado Georgia Tech at Bobby Dodd at 8 p.m.
I mean, I think that one's good. UNC, I think, is playing in Ireland. I forget who they're playing, but that's going to be interesting. Does Bill Belichick
UNC
come
is
back?
playing TCU.
Yeah, and I think that's the one in Ireland.
Yes, that is.
Yeah, that I think is going to be a good game.
So by riveting week, you have one game that you're excited about.
Yes, pretty much. That's all I really need.
That's
I
all you is that. Let's be real. That's all you need in college football season, right? Is
we
one
just
game to
we
look
just need
forward
one
to.
good game a week.
Well, it sounds like you might have just one good game a week there, Joe.
That's okay. I'll take it.
All right. Well, with that, let's hop right into it. Because I was looking at it and I was like, hey, it's week 0. We still actually have one more week before that. We were technically in week -1, I guess, this week. Instead of picking any games because there are no games to pick yet, we're gonna go ahead and give you some other picks. It's conference championship time. Boys, we're gonna kick right into it. I want to hear your Power Four conference champions. Nick, go.
So in the ACC, it pains me to pick them, but I'm going with Miami. I think they have the most talented roster in the ACC. They're coming off a national championship game appearance, so I do think this is the year that Mario gets them going, and they finally win the ACC for the first time in their existence in the ACC conference. SEC, I think Arch had a rough start to the year, but towards the end he started putting it together, and you can kind of see what all the hype was about. I think that they build on that in Austin, and I think Texas does win the SEC this year. In the Big Ten, this one was tough. There are three teams: Oregon, Indiana, and Ohio State that are just leaps and bounds better than the rest of the conference, in my opinion. But to
I
pick
think all in
one,
different ways too.
yeah,
Like their leaps and bounds better, but I think each team offers a different aspect of why their leaps and bounds better than everyone else in the conference.
yeah. Um, with that being said, I'm going with Ohio State. You know, Indiana's having to replace a ton of their production from last year. Julian Sainz back for year 3. Jeremiah Smith's back for year 3. I do think the Buckeyes are in prime position here. And in the Big 12, whatever was happening with Brendan Sorsby aside, I think Texas Tech does win the Big 12 this year. So those are my picks: Miami, Texas, Ohio State, and Texas Tech.
David, do you want me to go next?
Yeah, Joe, you go next.
So for the ACC, I think Miami is just leaps and bounds better than everyone else in that conference. I think you gave Miami a Heisman contending quarterback again, somebody who can honestly go and win a championship there. Not that Cam Ward couldn't, um, or the guy Beck couldn't, but I think Darian Mensa is just the man, and I think that if you give him even a little bit of talent, he can do leaps and bounds better than they did. For the Big 12, I picked Oklahoma State. I kind of went with a dark horse here, a fan favorite. I don't know if they'll actually win it, but I'm hoping that they do. I went with Oklahoma State. I think Eric Morris has a lot to prove. Um, that quarterback is fantastic, Maker. I'm excited to see how he adjusts to big time talent. It's bigger talent than what he was playing in when he was at North Texas. But they have a lot of guys that they brought over with them from North Texas, and where else have we seen that before? With Signetti, who brought everyone over from JMU to Indiana, and I think that there's not. I think he's the next Kurt Signetti in the sense where you're going to see a giant talent jump from a team that we haven't seen do it in a long time, just because he brings over his guys and his players. For the Big Ten, I did go with Ohio State. Like Nick said, I think that there's three different teams that everyone's gonna all vie for, and actually, it was between two for me. It was between Ohio State and Oregon. I really think this can be Oregon's year, as we'll talk about later. But I mean, we've seen it. The Big Ten is probably the best conference in the country right now. It used to be the SEC. It's not anymore. They have three different teams that have won three national titles in the last 3 years: Indiana, Michigan, and Ohio State. So I think this is Oregon's year where they're that fourth team to do it and the fourth team in that conference to do it. Um, Indiana, I think they have some stuff to prove with Hoover now as the quarterback. I think it's really, really hard. And I think Signetti's probably the only one who can prove me wrong, but I think it's really hard to replace a Heisman Trophy winner and a number one overall pick at Indiana and just pick up where you left off. I like Kurt Signetti. I like his team, but and I like Hoover ultimately, but I that's why I chose Ohio State. It goes with those returning talents. I think honestly he could Smith could win the Bolitnikoff and the Heisman this year. So that's why I chose them. But Oregon's loaded. Oregon's loaded with a lot of talent. Their recruiting classes have been fantastic. It's just a matter of whether Dan Lanning can do it or not. Can he win the big one? Because we're kind of approaching that James Franklin territory, So that's a big question too. And then for the SEC, I'm also going with Texas. Um, I think that this is the year across college football where we see guys, and by guys I mean coaches, who haven't been able to take that big step, who are going to take that big step. And Sark is one of those guys. He's never won a national title as a head coach. He's gotten very close, but I think this is the year where he takes that giant leap forward with a Arch Manning who we saw steadily improve over the last 8 games of last year. And I think he's going to pick up where he left off. And not only that, but that whole offense has gotten better. They got the best receiver in the transfer portal in Cam Coleman out of Auburn. He's a 6'4" sprinter who's unbelievable and has unbelievable ball control. I think you surrounded Arch with even more talent than they had last year, and he was starting to put it together without that talent. So give me Texas to win the SEC, and then obviously we'll get into the other stuff later, right? Because you didn't pick your natty, right? Okay, perfect.
Well, I guess for me, I refuse to pick Miami as a conference champion. Um, they made the playoff, still haven't won the ACC, so until they actually do it, I refuse to give them any kind of kudos. I'm sure that they're going to find a way to trip themselves up at the very end of the season, like they did last year, the year before that, the year before that. Uh, and because of that, I'm just going to go ahead and put all the good juju that I can into this season. I'm gonna roll with my Tigers. I'm gonna say Clemson for the ACC. I do have a dark horse that I think is probably the main challenger to that, in my opinion. Um, and so they are who we'll get into them a little bit more a little bit later. But I could see it between Clemson and that team as
I
my
also have a
ACC
dark
winner.
horse for that country or for that conference as well.
Hmm. So does Nick, in fact. SEC wise, as long as Georgia stays off the roads and on the gridiron, I think they're fine. Uh, I'm rolling with the Bulldogs. I feel like Texas. I know that it's hard for me to really understand what's the next market improvement from what they had previously. They had a lot of guys leave, a lot of guys come in, and it's just for me, I haven't. It's hard for me to place yet, like how much better they got, and I feel like they might have hit that ceiling there, at least to win the conference. And then I was the same with y'all between the Big Ten. Uh, I agree with you 100%, Joe. I think it's going to be really, really hard to replace Mendoza. Um, that team had a lot of magic in them, and I hope that they're able to run it back. But that the hardest thing to do in sports is to repeat.
And
And I
and like there's a lot of pundits, not to interrupt you, but there's a lot of pundits that are online that are like, I can't believe Indiana is number 5 or 6 in the coaches poll. I'm like, yeah, I can. Like the coaches poll is number one, not real. Number two is like they did lose a lot of talent. Yeah, they brought in a lot of talent, they maintained some talent, but boy, did they lose a lot of talent.
yeah. Um,
Anytime you lose the Heisman winning quarterback, it's going to be
It's tough.
different.
Yeah, it's tough.
so for that reason, I put Indiana on the side for this pick, and then I looked at Ohio State and Oregon. And this is how I'm looking at things. I think that the winner of their matchup in this regular season, which I did check, it is in Columbus, so Ohio State has that winner. I do not think that team wins the conference championship game. I think that they are going to go one for one.
So you're gonna go with
And so because Ohio State is at home, I think Ohio State's going to win that game. Some revenge from last year and everything, and then Oregon is gonna take it in the conference championship game.
Listen,
So
Oregon has all the talent in the world. It's just a matter of whether or not Dan Lanning can put it together.
I mean, they did not expect to have Dante Moore come back, and he's back.
I'm, I'm all, and this was the other thing where I kind of zigged, where some people would have zagged, but I just don't. I like Dante Moore. I just don't love Dante Moore. I think that
Ohio
last year,
Oregon's offense loved Dante Moore last year,
but Oregon's offense also stalled in some big games last year, and I'm not saying it's all Dante Moore's
and they
fault.
won
I
the
think
conference championship game.
right, and the year before that, it stalled as well. I'm not saying it's his fault. I just I'm
Oregon's
not
gonna
sure.
stall in the playoff. That's where they're gonna stall because that's what Dan Lanning does.
Correct, and I'm just
So
not sure
again,
that
this
he
is
wins it.
I'm not even saying that Oregon's going to win out the whole season. I think they're going to lose at Ohio State. I just think that those teams are going to go one for one.
See,
Just a
I'm the opposite of you, and I mean, you obviously know where my pick lies, right? But I'm the opposite of you. I think that they don't win the conference, but then they come back for some redemption.
just a couple things to keep in mind on the Oregon front because I do like the Ducks. Little correction: they did not win the championship last year. Last year was Indiana. It was 2 years
Correct.
ago that they
Yeah,
won.
you're right. You're right.
Um, the other interesting thing is Oregon lost their offensive coordinator, Will Stein, to Kentucky. So it's going to be having Dante Moore back obviously is huge for that offense, but it's going to be something different this year. And again, I like Oregon. I think I like Dan Lanning as a head coach. I hope that he does get over the hump one day. I'm a little nervous. That was really my reasoning for picking Ohio State over Oregon was the new offensive coordinator, and I think that like David said in Columbus, I think that goes to Ohio State, and then I'm very
So
high on Ohio State this year.
this is the next interesting thing. Ohio State plays both Indiana and they play Oregon this year. Indiana and Oregon don't play each other. So what happens if Ohio State runs the table and then you've got Indiana and Oregon with one loss, having not played each other?
Gonna probably come down to points or something or
I'm sure it
another.
would come down to like common opponents or something in the Big
Yeah.
Ten.
Hate divisions when we have these men when you cannot play everybody.
That was loaded.
Yeah, I mean,
But
I like Oregon. I don't know that they're the team to get it done against that conference. I think they, like I said, I think that there's something upcoming that we'll talk about, but
yeah, because I'm looking at what you sent me and I'm like, why are you fighting me so hard, sir?
yeah. So I mean, if you
Let's
want,
get right into it. Let's get right into it because I'm gonna put you on the spot here. Who do you have as your national championship, Joseph?
yeah. So like I said, I think that this is the year where people take large steps forward. I don't think that Oregon takes that large step forward for that conference because, again, I think that conference is loaded with talent. However, I think this is the year that Dan Lanning takes the next big step within the playoff, the postseason, and goes all the way to be the fourth different Big Ten team to win the fourth championship in a row for the Big Ten. I think that the talent is there. I don't know that they win their conference. And I know that sounds weird that I don't believe in them to win their conference, but I think that this is something about this year says bet on talent and bet on those coaches who haven't been there before that everyone says can't make it there, that everyone says can't win the big one. And that's why I think that they are the national champions this year.
I want to sit with that before we get to yours, Nick, just for a second. You're the
Uh,
exact reason that you say that you don't think they're going to win the conference championship is the exact reason that you think that they're going to win the national championship. Is that what I'm hearing correctly?
Yeah, I think that they drop one
Yeah.
or
Move on.
two. I think that they drop one or two, they make it into the playoff field, and then I think that they just bulldoze over people. That could be wrong, but that's my prediction.
So Oregon's schedule, because I'm going to get into this because I do like the Ducks to win it all, or not win it all, but to win the Big Ten. They got Boise State at Oklahoma State, Portland State at USC versus UCLA, Nebraska at Illinois, Northwestern at Ohio State, Michigan State, Washington. Where are the losses other than Ohio State?
All right, let's go game by game. Start with I know that this is time taking, but we have time. Go
This is
game by
important.
game.
Boise State,
I think they win.
Oklahoma State,
I think they win.
Joe's Big 12 title.
Portland State
They win that one.
at USC.
That's a tough one. I wouldn't put listen, that's not one that I'm saying they're dropping, but I'm not putting that one past them. That's a Mayava led team who can pull off an upset in USC at USC.
Home against UCLA.
UCLA is going to be better than people expect.
I almost put him as my dark horse.
Yep,
Nebraska
that's a win. That's a solid win for Oregon.
at Illinois.
Again, that's a Brett Bielema team. I'm not saying it's a win, but these are all. This is a very tough schedule. But go on.
Northwestern.
Okay, that's an easy one.
And then at Ohio State
That's a loss.
against Michigan,
That's a win.
Michigan State
That's a win.
versus Washington at home.
They don't play well against Washington.
Okay. So you have pointed me to
I
three
think
games
I think
total
I think
other
that
than
they
Ohio
dropped.
State.
I think they dropped that USC game. I'll put that one on the table. At
Mhm.
USC, I presume that's going to be a night game. The old
We'll see.
Pac-12 after dark.
I mean, USC is going to be coming back from Rutgers the week
Oh,
from that week before.
Good. That's basically
You
like a
know they're going to be
scrimmage
real tired playing
beforehand.
the fighting great Greg Schianos.
That's like a scrimmage the week before.
USC doesn't play. Here's the thing: you won't know anything about USC until the Oregon game
I don't think we
because
need
they
to.
play San Jose State, Fresno State, the Raging Cajuns, and then they're at
Good.
Rutgers.
So they're gonna have all the confidence going into that game. All the confidence in the world going into that game.
Okay, Nick,
no.
who's your natty champ?
Before we move on, I just want to direct folks to the Tailgate Talk Twitter at Tailgate Talk 3. Um, Posted on July 29th. Hardest games for Oregon are going to be at USC, at Illinois, at Ohio State.
Yeah.
Brutal for the Ducks to have the three toughest games be on the road, not to mention Michigan, Boise State, and an intriguing UCLA coming to Austin. Ducks should win at least two of the away games mentioned, but the room for error is thin for Dan
And
Lanning this year.
Boise State's gonna win Pac-12. I know that's like being valedictorian at summer school, but I don't think that's a team that you can sneeze at. Now, again, I think they win that game, but
Just
Literally 30
everything you're
minutes, 30
saying,
seconds ago, we're like, that's a win.
I feel like we're talking
I
Joe
do
into
say
it.
it's a
Not.
win. I do say it's a win, but that again, I sent you my whole thing. Power 6, Power 5, Power 4, whatever you want to say. I sent
Yeah,
you
it was a
all of
lot to
my
read. I didn't want to go through it all.
I picked Boise State to win the Pac-12. I think that's your Pac-12 winner.
Does the Pac-12 even have a conference championship this year?
I hope so because I picked one.
Did you even look to see who's in the Pac-12?
Yeah, it's like Texas State, it's like Utah State, Boise State. It's like all the states.
San
San
Diego
Diego
State.
State,
Oh, they do have a full.
Washington
No, that's the
State.
American. That's the American. Hold on. That's the Mountain West.
I think the
Yeah,
Pac-12 this
one,
year is
two,
all
three,
teams.
four, five, six, seven. So you're going out on a limb to say that Boise State's going to beat the likes of Colorado State, Fresno State, Oregon State, San Diego State, Texas
Except for San
State,
Diego State.
Utah State, and Washington. They need to rename the Pac-12, by the way. It should just be the state conference.
I agree. But yes, I do. I do think that Boise State's better than them.
Quick note on the Pac-12 championship game format: it's going to be held at, or per the Pac-12 website, the first season of the new league will be hosted at the home venue of the highest seed.
So we could
So
have it
we
on the
kind of
surf turf.
I was
would
just about to say we're gonna have it on the bluegrass.
I'm just
so that
saying
would be
you've got the only teams from Power Five, previous Power Five, that Boise State has to contend with are Washington State and Oregon State. I mean, I don't
Who are
disagree with you. I think Boise
terrible?
State's going
Who
to win
have
that
been
conference. I just think
terrible?
that's a weak conference this year. I mean, it's a new conference. They have
That's why I think Boise's gonna
restated
win
it.
it. That's the most Boise State thing to do is go win that conference.
They're going to win the conference. I don't disagree with you. I just don't know if you want to say if you want to put that as the reason that you think that they can go toe to toe with Oregon.
I don't. But what was this? Nick, please help me with my stats. Am I recollecting? Obviously, Ashton Genty was still there. But what did they do against Oregon when he was there? Was that 2 years ago?
stand by.
Did they lose by a touchdown? Am I remembering that correctly?
Stand by. Um,
They lost by 3.
They lost by 3. And that was a team led by one running back, yes, who went in the top 5, but who they out talent in every position on the field except running back, probably.
you want to hear something absolutely nuts? Boise State's record against Oregon all time is 3-1.
Yeah. Again, I don't think that's anything to sneeze at. Keep the Tailgate Talk Twitter, but I don't think that's a game that they should be overlooking Boise State.
And
Flaming our
Oregon
own
has
Twitter
been to
now.
Boise before. That's crazy.
Huh?
What?
I guess we're flaming our own Twitter now. Is that what you're
What
saying?
the heck?
No. I'm giving our Twitter credit.
Yeah,
Are you?
the Twitter admin cooked with that one. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know who's running that Twitter, but they're doing a good job.
Crazy.
All right, moving on. Nick, you said who was your natty champ? I
My
forget.
natty is Ohio State. Sayan coming back with 3,600 yards, 30 touchdowns. He's going to lead the offense. Jeremiah Smith, I said it before, is the most problematic matchup in the country. I think Joe said it. Bolitnikoff and Heisman combination possible this year. I like Bo Jackson, their running back.
Did
Great
you
name for a
wait?
running back.
Can I stop you right there? Did you see that he's not even their starter?
Who? Jackson?
Yes, Bo Jackson is their second string. Whoever that freshman is that they brought in is supposed to be
Really?
their starter.
I did not see that. Wow.
And we've obviously seen what Bo Jackson looks like. So could you imagine what this starter looks like?
That's going to be, and you know what? People could say that Ohio State's been getting kind of relying on the pass with their deep receiver room, which I mean, they've been pumping out receivers like crazy lately. So having that dynamic duo at running back makes me even more confident in this.
He's like
Um,
6'2", like 225 or something. It's crazy. Go on.
Unreal. And honestly, if the offense is as high powered as I'm thinking, it's going to be able to hold or it'll be able to offset losing Caleb Downs, Sonny Styles, Arvell Reese. Like those are three first round picks on defense, but they do have Matt Patricia, a say what you want about him as a head coach, as a defensive coordinator, he is a hell of a coach. So I do think that I do think it's just poised for Ohio State to win it.
You know where you're getting from Patricia, definitely.
Mhm.
Yeah, Ohio State's going to be tough to beat this year. I think I went all. I'll be honest. My choice of winner, I was between multiple teams. Ohio State was one of them. I refused to pick Ohio State. Um, I think that Oregon was another one, and Georgia was another one. Those the top three in the coaches polls. I looked at said, yeah, I'm between those three. And I decided to go with Georgia, off of vibes. I here's the thing. I do not love my natty pick. I don't. But I had to pick somebody, and why not? It's
Uh,
been with the big. I put it. I'll put it this way. It's been with the Big Ten. What, the last 2 years?
3.
I think 3 years. So I feel like yes, the Big Ten's been very strong. I think it's going to be a team outside of the Big Ten
Oh, I
this
don't
year
think.
because of that
so
reason. I just
the
it's
tough
it's 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 a cosmic thing. I'm with the universe on this. That it is going to be someone outside of the Big Ten to win the national championship. And right now, do I pick Georgia or pick Texas? I think I'm probably going to pick Georgia.
so the thing I'll say about Georgia is they have to go to Alabama. It's so stupid, but they're playing Florida and Atlanta. That is a travesty. And then they have to go to Ole Miss the following week after that game against Florida. I could
We have
see
no idea what Ole Miss is going to be.
no, but it. I mean, Trinidad Chambliss being back is makes me feel like that
He's going to
offense
be
will
the
be
best
humming.
quarterback in the country.
And they beat him last year in the playoff, so it's that game is good. I mean, there are many games you're circling on Ole Miss's schedule this year with LSU, obviously, and Georgia. I think that I'm interested. I have nothing to say about Ole Miss. I'm a little upset with them, but uh, they're my most intriguing team to see
I
just what
forgot about
happens
that.
this year. Yeah, don't even bring it's so stupid.
I
Um,
forgot about that. Um, Real quick, are we going into
I'm
dark
blanking on what
horses
that is about.
about your linebacker
Liking
who's been sitting in
Luke
class?
Farrelly,
Eric
Oh,
Golding
right,
is
that.
allegedly reaching out.
not allegedly, he did.
Yeah,
I'll stand on it.
Very
there are
well.
receipts.
Very well. Are we going into dark horses real quick? I know
We got
we're
to go
Yeah, we need to
card.
get into dark horses.
okay.
So I'll let Joe go first, and I'll go.
Real quick. I love, love Texas as a dark horse. I know that's not saying much because of the SEC talent and whatever. Also, one dark horse I didn't include in my text string that I think could make some serious noise. Again, this is going with my theme of, hey, I think this is the year that coaches who haven't been there before step up and make that big time step. James Franklin and Virginia Tech,
Ooh,
watch out. I haven't
no.
even looked at the schedule. It's not a full take, but I'm telling you right now, watch out.
How many big games at Penn State did he have to lose?
I
to
don't
to
think it
to see
matters.
what
And I
he
think he
is.
has a new lease on life. I think you're going to see him play with some reckless abandon. He's going to have his guys there. He's going to have all the money in the world there because they've never had anything like him before. And watch out. It's not a full take because I haven't looked at their schedule game by game, but
You
boy,
want
do
me to
I
tell
love
you
that
why I
team.
think you're wrong right off the bat?
Go on.
James Franklin.
They have to go at Clemson, then at SMU the next week,
I don't think
and
SMU's
they
that good
host
either. I don't
Stanford,
know why people
and
love
then they go
SMU.
at
I can't
Miami.
buy into SMU.
David, that's a perfect segue into your dark horse.
My dark horse is SMU.
I don't.
That's the other team in the ACC that I like a lot, that I'm high on.
Why?
Quarterback.
Vibes, dude. It's the oil money in there.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I got two. The one I texted, which I'll get to in a second. The one I just thought of that I talked myself into literally 20 seconds ago, Ole Miss. I think that just based on who they play, the intrigue around them, and the fact that they bring back Trinidad and Kwan Lacey, they could do some damage. I'm not saying they will because we don't know what Pete Golding for a whole season looks like. They are a sleeper team in the SEC, and they can cause damage. They
Yeah,
play
because
Georgia, they
Trinidad
play
is the
LSU.
best quarterback in the country.
It's going to be the stars are aligning there. And then my other one that I did text was mine and David's alma mater, Clemson. So I'm a little more. I think I'm a little more pessimistic than David is for this year. I don't, you know,
Refuse to root for any
the
other team in the ACC other than Clemson. That's all it came down to.
well, whatever
That
happened
was trying to
last year.
manifest things, Nick.
I
That wasn't
also have
necessarily off of analytics. That was off of heart and guts.
I also have one question for you once you finish your take. So go on.
Yeah.
Okay, so last year was a tragedy. You lose the quarterback. Now Vizina has not necessarily caused a lot of excitement. You know, he threw for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns against SMU. Again, they lost at home. But you do bring back TJ Moore, Bryant Wesco, best receiving duo in the ACC. Bring in Chris
Gid,
Johnson Jr., Gideon Davidson ready to take the leap. I'm
you
talking myself
seen Gid
into it.
this year? You seen
Huh?
he's looking like he put on some muscle, man. Dude's looking
He
like
Again,
was
Adam
that's
Randall
why
built to begin
2.0.
with.
that's why I'm like I could see it happening. I'm not. I LSU's going to tell us a lot. Tate Reynolds has been pushing Vizina in practice. We'll see what happens there. I don't feel comfortable until I know who's going to be quarterback down the stretch for the ACC push to really give that to be able to stand on it like you did, David. It's going to come down to who's taking snaps in November and October.
Okay,
So,
real quick. Can I ask you guys a question before we go?
correct.
30
Yeah.
seconds.
Quick thoughts. Notre Dame, why or why not?
Notre Dame, yes, because they bring back CJ Carr. I
I won't touch the
Marcus
money, so
Freeman's
that's why I'm asking you guys. Go on.
Marcus Freeman is a hell of a coach. Why not? Um, I'd have to get back to you to give you like a better answer than it's Notre Dame, and they've been known to do some stuff to screw themselves up
Uh,
recently. So if they can avoid losing to Northern Illinois at home, that's why. If Marcus Freeman overlooks the team and they lose, that's why not.
that's a fair answer.
I do
I'm
like
happy with
CJ
that.
Carr.
All right. Well, this has been a fantastic first episode of the season. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're looking forward to bringing a lot. We're going to be trying some new stuff throughout the year. Uh, keep an eye out for whoever this administrator is that's running on Twitter, writing checks that
Follow the
we'll see if
Twitter,
we can
Tailgate
cash or
Talk
not.
3.
Say it again. But Nick, plug it one more time for us for those who didn't hear in the back.
Tailgate Talk 3. Follow, like, repost.
Subscribe.
And please subscribe to our YouTube channel here. We're looking to try and grow this thing. We want to get our terrible takes out to everybody. So the more you like and subscribe, the better that will become. We're going to selfishly plug ourselves throughout. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And as always, go Tigers.
Go Irish.
Go Tigers. Follow the Twitter.